Welcome back, everybody. Today I'd like to just follow through on our last videos. We were going over some key practices from our trauma release program, and we were reviewing the vibration therapy program. We used the vibration machine and the rapid release, and then using the chi machine with the Theracane, and then we also talked about some electroacupuncture. Well, one thing I want to talk about this time is the Breathe Like a Yogi for Dummies. This is our number one recommendation because it's so simple and so inexpensive and so powerful. And particularly if you don't have a lot of funds, virtually everyone can afford this. If you go to this blog here, it explains the practice, but in simplicity, by wearing the mask. Let me bring up a video here. Welcome back. Any type of grounded. If you read the manual, it's okay. So there's Chris strapping on the mask, and so basically every time you breathe in, you're bringing in a mixture of air and you're bringing a mixture of outside air, but you're also bringing back your own CO2. So with every in-breath, you're always getting back some of your own CO2. Now, this is the critical piece of this practice because the CO2 causes you to vasodilate and the nerves to relax. So why is that so important? Well, basically, we use the analogy in this blog. We choke to death because what plays in our minds, we start to internally choke. I sometimes call it the grip of death, and the Chinese call this qi stagnation. So somewhere in this blog, I use the analogy of a pinched garden hose. So if your garden hose is pinched, you could try to open up the valve and put more water through the hose, but it won't work. You have to literally go to the pinch part of the hose and unpinch it. Well, essentially, when you do...
Or I've been doing it a long time, and I do...
Sorry. When you do wear this mask and you bring back CO2 into your body, literally the CO2 gas is the gas that causes the unpinching of the garden hose. It causes what's called vasodilation and nerve relaxation. So it literally, you just unwind and relax, and as a result, everything opens up and you get much more blood flow. And as you open up and allow in more circulation, you get way more oxygen to the cells, and that's reinforced the whole relaxation because now you feel better and you relax even more. So in the blog, we read the blog. It's self-explanatory. Dr. Buteyko developed a practice called Buteyko Breathing, and he studied the yogis and really came to understand the physiology behind the slow breathing that the yogis did, and it comes down to the CO2. So at the end of the day, the mask is very simple. You don't have to do a cumbersome practice. It's cheap, and you get the result. This blog will kind of give you the sort of track how Dr. Buteyko studied the yogis, his practice, and then how Dr. Frolov developed a device to achieve this proper, normal, relaxed breathing. And the mask really just mimics the Frolov device. So we're just making it simpler for you. We understand the principles behind the practice, and we always want to give you an easy tool, not a complex tool. So take a look at this video, please. Shows Chris on the vibration machine if you want to just see what the mask looks like. Here we have a monitoring of the practice. I have a Muse meditation headband. It's an EEG headband. So I wanted to literally monitor how calm the brainwave activity would, developed as I did a session. So this is proof right here. First 8 minutes, there was only 24% calm. As soon as I hit like around the 10-minute mark, the body jumped to a 66% calm state. Then 3 minutes later, well, I would start and stop this, by the way, so you could say 5 minutes later. Start at 10:06. At 10:17, I was at 66% calm. 10:22, a big leap to 82% calm, and then at 10:27, about 20 minutes later from the start, body went into 91% calm. So roughly after 10 minutes, you're starting to go down, 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 really starting to relax. So if you have panic, anxiety, stress, just give yourself that first 10 minutes, and then you'll notice 5 minutes later, better, 5 minutes later, better. And you can go for like 20 to 40 minutes, depending on how much anxiety and stress you have. And the key is to, especially if you're just starting, to do this consistently. Now, the way the mask works is as you start to unwind and become more relaxed, you can actually start to increase the resistance. And it has like 16 levels of resistance, most of these masks. So you go up a level, and then you can basically choke yourself out. But because you're now breathing so efficiently, you can take in less air, and still you have, it literally forces you to stay in relaxation. Because if you are not breathing properly, if you're not relaxed, if you haven't trained, you will just literally choke as you increase the resistance. So each resistance level you go up proves that you're becoming more yogic-like in your breathing. And eventually you can go all the way up to level 16 and pretty much choke out most of the air coming in, and yet be able to breathe quietly, slowly, and efficiently. So you've achieved mastery of breathing. I would recommend, usually takes, depending on the person, it takes anywhere from 2 weeks to 5 months to effectively retrain your breathing. Once you achieve that level, you can do a maintenance mode 2, 3, 4 times a week. One of the reasons I'm doing this video is, even though I recommend this as number one, I have to heed my own inner teacher. I kind of forgot to integrate this into my practice because I have all these other practices, and I had to literally kick myself saying, "Oh, come on, Andrew, what's up with you? You forgot to do your breathing." And stress is kind of a funny thing. If you had it your whole life, it's like your best friend in a way, friend you wish you never had, but it's been hanging out with you for so long. You're almost like, "Oh, I'm used to you." So you really don't know how stressed out you are until you put on the mask and do this, and then go, "Oh my God, do I feel so more relaxed?" You're just not accustomed to relaxing and training yourself to do it. So please make this a consistent practice, and once you even build up, just put a note to yourself to do it. You can do it every day, or if you really feel like you don't need to do it every day, you're feeling super relaxed, just do it no matter what, 2, 3 times a week. And, I would always do it to check in, 3, 4 times a week, to just remind yourself, "Oh, wait a minute, I'm sneaking back into stress and I forgot to do this." All right, you can buy these masks if you Google sports. If you go to Amazon and Google, put in sports breathing mask training, you can see all these masks. The elevation training mask was the original mask. I used to work with them, but these sleeves would wear out all the time. They were just horribly built-in obsolescence where you'd always have to buy a new one. And it's like $15, and I just really got pretty annoyed with the fact that you always had to buy another sleeve, and it's got to be built-in obsolescence, because if you buy the mask and this never wears out, you don't have to buy anything ever again. So how are they going to make money? So I would definitely, and reading the reviews, first of all, you can get one cheaper. Here's one for $40. Find out about the sleeve that wraps around your head and what happens if it wears out. Does the company replace it for free? Read reviews, and find one that either says they'll replace it for free, or find reviews that say, talk about the sleeve. You don't need 24 levels. It's a gimmick. 16 is plenty. It used to be, less than that. So I think if you want more levels, that's fine. But I think 16 is plenty. What you do need is that the mask fits your face, and the sizing of the mask is based on your body cavity size. So if you have a very large body, you want a bigger mask to bring in more CO2, where a small body is going to need less CO2 to come back into it. However, it has to fit your face. So if you have a very, very large body and a very tiny face, you can't buy a large mask. So just make sure you're getting a mask that fits your face size and your body weight size, your body cavity. All right? You can always, so yeah, that's just straightforward. Those are the two criteria. We have these other videos. If you go to our channel and type in the word breathe right here, you can see the various videos. Meditation, breathing, and stress management, breathe like a yogi for dummies. Here we have one that shows that. I would definitely look at this one that shows the monitoring, the EEG monitoring of the practice. Here's one that combines the vibration therapy with the breathing mask. And then we have these various other videos. All right, so breathing, obviously oxygen is critical, but what most people are not realizing is the reason they're not getting enough oxygen is not from lack of oxygen, but literally this choking effect. And, the medical term, eventually, if, everything chokes out, they call it atherosclerosis, where the arteries are hardening. But basically, instead of having a very relaxed arterial system, all the stress causes literally the arterial system to, just due to the fact that it's literally gripping like a fist. The stress response is like a tightening of your fist. Well, the arteries become tight and grippy and hard. So this is great for anyone with just a lot of stress, where the arteries are literally choking up and becoming hard and gripping. Great therapy. And of course, we have all the other practices in the trauma release program that can go along with it. So you can combine the breathing mask and all these practices while you're doing them. Alrighty, I think that about covers it. We went through all these videos. Okay, so if you have any questions, contact me, andrew@bluezeawater.com, and go to Amazon, get yourself a mask, start doing the practice. You'll be really happy, and then it'll motivate you to do other things. Alrighty, thank you. Take care.